on the rise, and we ain't gon' drop on the grind. It's our time, just watch.
If you want it, you can get it. Life gets hard, but don't you let it get you down. Go get the crown, because our time is now.
Hey, we gotta get it. Gotta get up, gotta go, we gotta get it. Hey, they won't forget us. Made it happen and we all became legends. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it.
We can't be contained when we leave the game. My name will remain. We don't need the fame. You can keep this chain. We broke free, so things won't be the same. Nah, on the mission, gotta get it. Let's work. We were raised on the net. I'm raising my net worth, but it ain't about the money. Nah, it ain't about the cause. All that matters is the world knows who we are. Stars.
If you want it, you can get it. Life gets hard, but don't you let it get you down. Go get the crown, because our time is now.
Hey, we gotta get it. Gotta get up, gotta go, we gotta get it. Hey, they won't forget us. Made it happen and we all became legends. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it.
Know that our time is now.
Um, and hello, stream? Question mark. It's me and Justin today, our Vice President Suniz, and we're going to be casting Alamo versus Scarlet Vengeance. You you want to say hi, Justin?
Hello, hello. I know the stream's a little scuffed today. Unfortunately, that's just gonna be how it is. It's new production, so
Yeah,
I'll be trying my
unfortunately,
best.
everyone's favorite caster, that one Dan, is away. Probably won't be casting any of these other games, so it'll be me and our vice president to cast these games. And let's look at these bans real quick. We've got Wukong, Jarvan, and Mordekaiser on the side of Alamo. Scarlet Vengeance has Katarina, Xayah banned. I didn't look too much into these players, but Wukong, Jarvan definitely solid bans for the jungle from Alamo. And Scarlet Vengeance, I'm assuming banning a powerful Katarina main on the side of Alamo. If you can comment on that, Justin.
These are some, I would say, on the side of Alamo, we're seeing some really good critical takeaways from this from Vengeance. We have seen many times when Scarlet Vengeance has played in Rutgers tournaments that the jungler, dumb jungler, has played many aggressive types of junglers, generally good playmakers for his team, and the Mordekaiser, just a solid takeaway, generally, especially prevents a early pick like this Shen, where the Mordekaiser would be able to bully him, but without this, there. Alamo here is saying that if they take away the Mordekaiser, that this Shen will be a easy pickup and a safe blind pick for their team to pick up.
I see. So this Shen is probably going to go to the top lane then, right?
And we're seeing Kai'Sa taking away the Xayah and the Jinx so they could take away key hyper carries that can scale into the late game, and then picking an aggressive bot lane to try to win that early 2v2 we're seeing.
Yeah, Kai'Sa definitely a very strong for dive. I'm sure you're happy to see the Kai'Sa come out from the side of Scarlet Vengeance unit on
Absolutely.
that Kai'Sa. And we'll see what Alamo has to respond to that. Potentially gonna want a disengage support from the side of Alamo. We'll see if they opt to pick for support here. That Maokai could be support, although I would not be surprised if that goes jungle as well. Shen can also be top or mid. I want to see a Shen jungle. I want some meme picks in here. Unfortunately, probably not going to get too many meme picks right now, as people are trying to win, and Kennen is the pickup from the side of Alamo.
So what's interesting here is Alamo has really decided to go into these potential flex picks. We have Kennen, who's generally known to be played top lane, but with the Shen, probably is going mid. I would highly doubt this is an ADC pick, but it has been historically played. It has historically been played in the past before, but definitely not in the recent seasons. Maokai probably going to go in the jungle position, but we have seen it played in the support and in actually recent seasons before. And it also can do pretty decently into the Nautilus with his disengage against Nautilus's engage, and also the ability to have that point and click to lock down the Kai'Sa, to lock down this newly picked Gwen. And then we see the Lulu ban from Scarlet Vengeance. They're saying that this is the top side of Alamo already picked up, and they want to take away more bot laners.
Yeah, but they have to be careful because that could definitely. Honestly, Maokai and Shen could both flex into the support role. I don't know how good that would be, but they can still definitely flex into support role as well if Alamo decides that they want to play something a little spicy in the top lane.
We have Orin taken away. They're assuming the Gwen could be jungle? I don't understand the Orin ban at all, actually, but it's probably with the intention that Gwen could be potentially a farming jungler here. Generally, Orin is an okay matchup into Shen. it's an interesting ban to say the least. Phalios banned away, another hyper carry, adding on to the third list. Scarlet Vengeance here is clearly trying to say that they can take away all the strongest ADCs. That they're confident that there's not going to be a Zeri pickup here, and that they can make sure that to force Alamo off of those main late game hyper carries.
Yeah, but Elmo's banning Hecarim here, which means they're not 100% confident in where this Gwen is going. So I don't understand this Ornn ban even more. But maybe they know something that we don't in terms of what Scarlet Vengeance was planning to pick, or they're just really scared of an Ornn. Who knows?
And there's the Trundle. It is a probably pretty signature pick of Peters, or Dumb Jungler. He's played in numerous Rutgers tournaments, and this Trundle pick has been easily one of the biggest ways for him to accelerate his team and especially gank top lane. So it would be interesting to see, especially the Trundle Pillar's interaction with Shen's dash to potentially set up those plays on a generally safe top laner.
Yeah, Trundle's definitely a menace towards top laners, all top laners alike. With his pillar, it makes it really hard to run away in such a long lane. And Al's gonna go for the Thresh pickup into Kai'Sa Nautilus. You have the Thresh Nautilus interaction. Don't know what they're gonna pair with the Thresh though, and that does mean Maokai will probably be going jungle.
I will also quickly mention that Thresh's interaction against Nautilus is really, really difficult. The idea behind it is that Nautilus generally beats Thresh unless Thresh can flay while not is queuing him. Too early and you can still get hit by not auto. Too late and you also still can be hit by not auto. So it's perfect timing. It's really hard to execute. So I would be really interested to see if we what is this? Daphne? Defying?
I
I'm just
think
gonna say
it's supposed.
defying.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go with
Let's go with Defy.
All right, yeah. We'll say that I would be really impressed to see if Defy can be able to execute this type of an disengage against this Nautilus. Varus picked up. We're we're starting to see a pretty solid late game team comp coming out from Alamo. Scarlet Vengeance seems to be really showing a pretty strong hand of potentially winning top, potentially winning bot, and then a Trundle and a Galio to execute the ganks and the dives, and looking for this stronger early game to try to counteract this scaling that Alamo has starting to build.
Yeah, and honestly, probably going to end up with a Kennen mid into Galio matchup. I don't know how good that matchup ends up being, honestly. Both are picks that I have not seen very often in the mid lane. And then top lane, Shen versus Gwen are going to end up being the matchup. I do believe that Gwen does like this Shen matchup. I could be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong here. But I believe that Gwen does like this Shen matchup because she's able to just cleave into Shen's health bar with her. What's her Q's name?
Thousand,
but she,
no, her passive's 1,000 cuts. It's just this big snip.
yeah, she is able to cleave into Shen's health bar. I'm not 100% sure if I'm correct on that, but
Shen
Gwen
should probably
be able to enjoy this matchup, especially if they end up choosing to, go for the Ignite TP match setup in the top side. However, Shen will be able to have more map they can play later, especially once they hit 6, with his ability to just R his teammates whenever. We'll see how that matchup ends up playing out. But definitely, if Positive Thinking is able to make it to level 6 without dying a single time, he'll have a lot more impact on helping his enemy team, or helping his team out in the team fights, as opposed to the Gwen who has to move over and walk instead of teleporting. Yeah, and we are going to see Shen top and Kennen mid. Poison water on Kennen.
Another quick thing to mention is this Kennen Galio matchup. If Galio does have a decent matchup into most AP champions. However, Kennen with the range will be looking to try to shove in this lane and look for these initial skirmishes, especially with the Maokai. It'll be really interesting to see how this Maokai Kennen and this Trundle Galio combos look to try to push out this mid lane, and especially with both junglers being really good at assisting their mid laner to get the push, look for these dives on both the side lanes and just executing really strong dives on both sides actually.
Yeah, both sides definitely have very strong dive potential. On either solo lanes, I think it would be a little bit easier for Alamo to dive the Vengeance bot lane, but our Vengeance. Hold on, let me think for a second. No, sorry. It would be easier for the Vengeance bot lane to look for a dive on the Alamo bot lane in comparison to the other way around. But they definitely both have very strong dive potential. Kennen R plus Varus R with his Blinding Arrow definitely going to be able to chunk Kaisa and Nautilus for a large amount of damage under tower if they have support from the Maokai. But on the other end, Kaiser Nautilus, very strong dive combo. They have Galio R to disengage as well. And Trundle does Trundle things. So we'll see what happens. Shen R is available, but once Shen R is available, it will be harder for them to dive, for Vengeance to dive onto Alamo. The Shen R shield will definitely be an annoying factor, blocking a lot of Kaisa and Nautilus's damage.
All right. Well, thank you for the pre-game analysis, Brian. We'll be quickly going into a short break, and after that, we'll see who wins Game 1 of Alamo versus Scarlet Vengeance. Bye.
are just getting into this game. Scarlet Vengeance versus Alamo, and Scarlet Vengeance is running a straight bot lane, and we see Alamo running for this bot lane pixel brush. Both teams thinking about invading. Looks like Scarlet Vengeance is looking for a little bit of a. Looks like they're trying to have a little bit of fun in this bot lane. They're gonna crawl up to this tri-brush, and we'll see where the teams first meet. Hopefully, oh, it looks like Alamo might not stay together, and this would put Vengeance at the advantage when these two teams meet. And the hook connects from Eric Bobo. Flash away from Defy though, and it looks like it'll just be the flash and a little bit of quick damage. On to Defy, but hopefully he just resets. I don't know if he will, but he didn't even get chunked for that much. Probably won't be too much of a consequence for him to stay. And Moondragon's just gonna start top lane. Down junglers opting to start on his blue buff, which means he probably will be popping top side. If you have anything to comment on that, Justin.
So it seems like we see opposite starts from the junglers. They're both starting blue, so we'll probably be seeing Maokai is a champ that generally wants to full clear. Similar thing we're seeing from Trundle. So although we'll probably be seeing Maokai heading towards the spot lane, having the Trundle heading towards the top lane, we'll probably be having a Trundle probably will reach top lane a little faster. Alright. So, as we're watching the bot lane,
Oh, treasure line hits. Defy doesn't actually manage to hit that timing that you're looking for, but it doesn't matter because Vina not able to capitalize on the trade, and Kazak's going in. Justice Punch. Dumb Jungler, how did he even get here? I wasn't paying attention to the map. And
did a 3 clear.
Eric Bobo gets hit by the death sentence. But Vina manages to squeak out first blood over Crystal X. A lot of action going on in this bot lane early. All these hooks are landing for both Defy and Eric Bobo. Vina barely managed to get the first blood there, and Keldrick flashes in, and he's gonna die because Moondragon was standing over the wall. Doesn't mean that Moondragon burns his flash, and Keldrick comes away with a kill ahead in the spot lane, or mid lane, I'm sorry. A little bit of action going on in the top lane. Altracat? That's the Ghost. Flash Ignite from Positive Thinking gets the kill. Moondragon does know that Dumb Jungler is here, but Dumb Jungler just gets the Skullcrab and walks away. Eric Bobo got hit again by that death sentence, but Dumb Jungler is here. Flash forward from Crystal X, flash away from Venom, and looks like Crystal X will just be dead. And Eric Bobo looking to see if he can catch Defy. Moondragon is here. Probably going to be able to save him? Oh, Moondragon gets the kill, and Eric Bobo stepped up a little bit too far there. Yeah, a lot of action going on early in this game. Gold's basically even though, so Keldrick going in again. Hits the W. Poison Water wanted to go back in. Keldrick somehow misses that. Misses his Winds of War. Don't know how that one happened. But he didn't come out too badly on the trade, so nothing of note there. He still gets his Q poke down. He's able to roughly stay even on this trade with Poison Water. It's going to be down in CS by a little bit after he takes this wave, but he has his boots, so he can look for a roam here. But he's looks like just going to get a deep ward. On this bot lane. Oh, I'm looking for some trades. Yeah.
What's really interesting here is that the mid laners are aggressively trading here, which means that they'll probably not be able to get as many roams as both of the champions would want to. But to be fair, both of them haven't hit 6 yet. Their playmaking potential hasn't been fully reached yet.
Eldrick going in, way too aggressive, dies on their tower after Justice punching forwards, and it's like he'll be being sent back to base. Wave is in an okay position for him. It will be pushing into him, and he should be able to come back in time to single like a couple minions. But just need Poison Water hit 6 first, gets his reset, and maybe can look to roam. Altricad hit 6 first in this top lane. Probably won't be able to kill, was positive thinking though, as this Shen is quite tanky.
Oh, and it looks like we're having a dragon take here. Dumb Jungler is currently going low, not contested at all. Using the bot prio from Venan and Eric Bobo to be able to get this free opportunity to look for this dragon.
And his top lane, positive thinking just hits level 6, which means that he can now look to defend his teammates from any potential threats. And Altricad looking for a back? Does just get it. Positive thinking, not able to cancel it. And good trade from the Poison Water. Able to just get a healthy chunk off of Keldrick's HP bar, but Keldrick's probably just going to walk it off. Clear his control ward.
As of now, probably both junglers really intending to either look or deny for this 8-minute Herald. We probably will be seeing Dumb Jungler looking towards resetting right now, looking for the level 6 off of these camps, and then potentially looking top lane. Yep, there the pings are coming through. We'll probably be seeing some response from Eric Bobo to be able to move up to this Herald play and assist and create a numbers advantage on this top side. It's all going
You
to
have to keep in mind that Altricad does not have his ultimate up yet. He was using it in a fight previously with positive thinking, and he doesn't have it up for this fight, maybe? It's coming up in 30 seconds. So actually, no, he will have it up just in time. And Dumb Juggler is not actually battling towards soft side. Neither juggler is looking for the 8-minute Herald at this point. But Eric Bobo is going to meet Moondragon in the jungle here. Wonder if he'll look for a dredge line. No, he'll just let his control ward die and get some safer vision in the big river. And Defy, clear some control wards. And looks like Dumb Jungler is now piling up to this Rift Herald, as you said. Not quite 8 minutes, 8 minutes 30. Altricad trying to get some trades down in advance. They do have to be careful though, because Moondragon could look to try to dive bot, but Venan and Eric Bobo very healthy. Probably not going to amount to much if they do try to dive.
Another thing to look at is even though Scarlet Vengeance needs to be looking to try to extend their lead against this team that can be pretty decently strong in the scaling field. Although Scarlet Vengeance does have the scaling through the Kai'Sa through.
Oh, good flash forwards from Keldrick, but barely saved by positive thinking. Ignite's taking down. He will live on 1 HP. Dumb Jungler will look for it. Smites to get the kill. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, flash forwards from Crystal X, able to get the kill onto Venan. And Eric Bobo will be able to walk out. Oh, no, gets queued. Dumb Jungler in the jungle, looking for a 1v2 on Moondragon and positive thinking, gets the kill. Eric Bobo dies in the bot lane, gets sniped by Crystal X. And Dumb Jungler is just going to walk out. Dumb Jungler gets the 1v3 actually.
1v3 and gets 2. That is huge. Greatly swings the gold in the jungle position.
Yeah, unfortunately Venan and Eric Bobo got 2v2 in the bot lane. Both of them died. It is pretty good for Altricad though. Gets a lot of fightings. He's pretty rich now. But gold remains relatively even. A little bit of advantage to ALAMO, but nothing too major. We'll see if they're able to bring back this gold and maybe get the golden adventures here, like they should be looking for, like you said.
Now, it's going to be really important right now for Scarlet Vengeance to try to look for a huge Herald play with the value of their Herald, maybe to look for this dragon that is coming up in about 37 seconds. Bot play?
They may be looking for something. Moondragon doesn't have his ultimate up yet, though. They're not going to be able to get anything quite yet. And Keldrick and Dumb Jungler are roaming down. Hook, Dredge line from Eric Bobo catches Moondragon. He might not be able to walk out. His ultimate comes up. Dumb Jungler's behind them. Dumb Jungler is the strongest player in this game right now with his Divine Thunder, but gets one shot by Poison Water's slicing Maelstrom, and it's a mess of a fight from here. Venan gets killed in the back by Crystal X, and in the front line, Bobo gets focused down by the Poison Water and Defy, and comes up big from the side of Alamo. Huge ultimate from Poison Water. Dumb Jungler kind of got caught in the middle of the fight, and nowhere to go. He gets one shot, even though he has the most gold in the game right now. A little bit unfortunate, and now the gold swings in favor of Alamo, but it looks like Vengeance kind of trying to use their death pressure to get this dragon. And Alchcat is waiting in the wings. They have numbers advantage here. It's a 5v4. Alchcat fails his E over the wall. I don't even know if you can E over that. But looks like Moondragon is just going to get zoned off by Keldrick, and they will be able to get the dragon.
What seems to be interesting here is that even though Alamo was able to get that early dragon, Scarlet Vengeance was still first to the drag because Alamo took so much time after that play to be able to push in the waves, to be able to find that synced reset. And because they were so delayed on the reset, it made it really difficult for them to contest that dragon afterwards.
Yeah, even if we look at the map, they weren't even completely. Not all of them were even fully reset by the time that Vengeance was looking for that dragon. And Hachcat looking for a solo in the top lane. He's not going to find it. He doesn't quite have enough damage, but does get a good chunk of positive thinking while losing some health in exchange.
Oh, Herald dropped.
Moondragon is here to respond though, and the way it's being proxied, the tower is going to fall, but they won't be able to.
Wait, the Herald didn't connect.
The Herald didn't connect. It should connect now though.
No, it's
Moondragon's just completely distracting it. They didn't even get a value out of this Herald. That's actually really big from the side of Scarlet Vengeance.
That was a huge mistake. Dumb Jungler not recognizing the wave state of the top lane as the wave was coming in. The Herald gets distracted by minions before it is able to reach the tower aggro range.
Yeah, that's kind of big because that was like a really big objective that they could play off of. And there's something going on here. Dumb Jungler looking for something, gets caught out by Poison Water with the Shem ultimate. Does end up going down to Keldrick's Ignite, but Keldrick is probably dead here. I don't know that he has a way out. Yeah, he's gonna get knocked up, tossed around, and he's dead. Positive thinking, really making use of his Stand United. As I said in the draft, he's going to be able to help his team out a lot more than Alchcat is. And it looks like Almo's going to get first turret in the bot lane. Alchcat looking for this turret in the top lane makes in response. We'll be able to get it. I do wonder if he can actually kill positive thinking though. Positive thinking does have an R, and he's looking for it. But positive thinking able to just walk out.
We had an interesting play on the bot side here from Alamo, trying to get a little bit aggressive and invade the enemy jungle, but seems to have died down a little bit as the game kind of settles into this generally favoring Alamo state, but we'll be probably seeing a bit of a slowdown in the match speed as of now. And as I say that, we have Ultracad looking for this Herald.
by himself, but there isn't really any vision on it for Alamo to know.
This is
Most of the
interesting.
members are off the map. They might just want to get it for free. Their ping's going down. Looks like they might know something's up, but they're probably too late. Oh,
Oh,
Poison Water's here. Flash R. Is he gonna get it? He does. He will die for it and give up the shutdown. Oh no, he doesn't actually have a shutdown. But now the entire team's made into fighting. Let's see who ends up coming on top here. Cedric diving into the back line. Positive thinking's blocking him. Dredge line for Eric Bobo goes big, gets the kill, and let's see if Almo's remaining members are able to walk out. No, positive thinking goes in, tries to flash for the lantern, does
ooh.
not make it. And Eric
And
Bobo,
just when I was about to say that, oh,
Eric Bobo's just straight up ran it down there.
huh.
Granted, he is 0-6, probably not worth that much gold at that point, but that is definitely not where he should be at that moment. But really good play from Vengeance. They're able to get a pretty sizable victory there. Unfortunately, they didn't get the shutdown onto Crystal X, which is 900 gold now, 7-1 on the Vars, canceling both Keldrick and Altricad's backs there.
And right when I was about to say that Vengeance was picking up all the objectives while Alamo was picking up all of the kill leads, it seemed to immediately flip the other way with that recent play. Oh!
Eric Bobo gets caught by another death sentence, and he's dead again. Surely he's being yelled at by his teammates for this one. Over and
Or
over again, caught by this
maybe,
death sentence.
or maybe Defy's just
Maybe
hitting
Defy's just better.
everything.
Keldrick looking for something huge W.
Huge
Isn't able
flank
to
by
find anything,
Altricad.
but the Poison Water is able to get
Nothing.
Keldrick in the front, maybe? Keldrick's dead, but Altricad got everything. Triple kill for Altricad. Honestly, I wasn't really paying attention to what happened in the back end of that fight. I was a little bit distracted.
It was a huge flank by
Altricad.
Picks up the kill onto the cannon, onto the Shen. Oh no, not the Shen, the Thrash, right? Yeah.
The Thresh
yeah,
and
no,
the Varus.
the Thrash Varus, and also at the end picking up the what is it? The Maokai, that's what his name is, yeah. Tree guy, the tree man.
The tree man, yeah.
And as tree man falls, they all respawn, but it's too late. Too little, too late. Vengeance has picked up the third dragon of this game.
And that's Soul Point too, which will be really big for Vengeance. That's probably going to be their win condition, considering their scaling is not as good as Alamo's. Alamo definitely has the potential to be a lot stronger later into this game, but Altricad, with that ability to just pick up a kill there onto Crystal X, means that while I was going to mention earlier that Crystal X is the richest man in the game, but Altricad actually took that title with those huge kills there, and he now has two full items, or two full items and boots to match 2.5 for Crystal X.
And what's really important to mention about this Gwen is that she is one of the biggest scaling threats on the side of Scarlet Vengeance, and is probably one of the main drivers of Scarlet Vengeance's late game. Kaisa not gonna feel as great because of the lack of kills right now and the massive lead from this Varus, but definitely for Vengeance there is this Gwen to be able to match the Varus, match the huge cannon right now.
In terms of damage, at least.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if he's able to avoid getting blown up by the CC from the side of Alamo. Because that fight, the Poison Water burned his ultimate on Keldrick, and Eric Bobo not able to save it for Altricad. I mean, Altricad is just able to run rampant in the back line with not enough damage from the side of Alamo.
Oh, Poison Water?
He does have his tower here, and he has Slicing Maelstrom. Probably not going to lead to anything. Baron is spawning in 5 seconds, so there's that to look out for. And Scarlet Vengeance has been picking up most of the objectives so far, so we'll see if they manage to pick this one up as well. At 20 minutes, that would be something to see.
Right, your mic.
What's up?
Ryan, your mic's cutting out. No. Okay. I guess. Hopefully. All right. Hopefully, Brian's mic gets sorted out a little bit. Currently, well, we see on we have Vengeance here picking up this and both Alamo both looking to do this simple 1-3-1 strategy, trying to be able to farm all the maximum amount of resources on this map possible while this Baron is up. A key thing to mention is in these types of neutral situations, what you should be looking for as both teams is the ability to shove out this mid wave, to be able to look for the side lanes, look on and create the vision for these incoming neutrals. And as I say this, we have Dumb Jungler potentially looking for play. No, they seem to be done.
All right, sorry, my internet went out for a bit.
It's all good.
I'm back. What did I miss?
You missed farming. A lot of it.
Oh,
All kinds of farming. 1-3-1 kinds of farming.
oh, my game just froze. So, a little bit unfortunate for me. Still having some technical difficulties on my end. I apologize.
In the meantime, we have Alamo getting the mid shove here. They're both teams looking like they want to reset right now as the fourth dragon. Soul point for Scarlet Vengeance is coming up in 48 seconds. So what we should be seeing here from both teams is a drive to try to push out these side lanes, most importantly mid and bot wave, to be able to develop the vision necessary for this incoming fight. And as I say this, we have Scarlet Vengeance hovering suspiciously heavily towards top side right now.
Yeah, sorry, you'll have to give me a second. I need to resync with the game.
Don't worry about that. Play looking on top side. UltraCAD looking for positive thinking here. And meanwhile, as UltraCAD is just creating this side pressure on positive thinking. Positive thinking is at half HP. He's going to be farming this wave, and he's half HP, while Scarlet Vengeance has gotten Baron down, 4,000 HP, and a fight breaks out. Crystal Alex is getting caught out in the side of the enemy red jungle. Positive thinking tries to save Crystal Alex, is able to shut down UltraCAD, Poison Water, throwing a huge two-man cannon ult onto the backline of Scarlet Vengeance. But we have Venom being able to pick, and Dumb Jungler picking up Crystal Alice, almost getting positive thinking, but he lives with a sliver of HP, 1 HP, but still, Moondragon falls down, and that is a clean 4-1 for Scarlet Vengeance, and they'll probably turn to the Baron after this.
Yeah, really good fight from the side of Scarlet Vengeance. I'm sorry, but my game is a little bit desynced now.
And so is mine. Jeez, everything's broken. Okay, there we go. It's back. The game's back. It's alive.
Yeah. So looks like Scarlet Vengeance is going to pick up this Baron. Dragon is available for them, so they will probably be heading to that. Although it looks like ALAMO does have the first move there. Heltrick is going to be there, and UltraCAD.
This is interesting. They're taking the Drake really slowly.
Yeah, they don't have damage. Crystal Light isn't on it.
And Defy looking to potentially engage something, although this might just be... Oh, and the fight breaks out. We have... Guys, keep an eye on UltraCAD here in the front, doing huge amounts of damage. Two-man counter ult from the Galio. And as UltraCAD pushes forward into Poison Water, Poison Water has to use the ult to disengage. And this should probably be the Hex Tech Soul for Scarlet Vengeance.
Yeah, UltraCAD able to just do so much. His Hallowed Mist means that Crystal X can't hit him at all. And Oh,
And that's two more picks onto Defy and Crystal Alex.
that might just be the game, actually. Scarlet Vengeance has Baron, they have the Hextech, so they might just be able to run down mid. They have enough minions with the Baron. If they decide to just tank minions, they might even be able to end. They will definitely get at least this inhibitor, though. Yeah.
And right now, we're starting to see 10,000, 11,000 gold on the Kaisa, 12,000 gold on the Gwen. These gold leads are really starting to stack up on the side of Scarlet Vengeance. And it's making it look really, really difficult for this game to be a potential win.
From the side of Alamo. From the side of Alamo.
Yes.
Just to clarify.
My bad.
You never know. Maybe you think that Scarlet Vengeance is guaranteed to lose this game.
You know,
just gotta make sure.
Maokai just always seems to win. It's fine. I mean, it's not that patch. It's not that patch, but we'll just pretend it is that patch. Yeah, unwinnable for Scarlet Vengeance. All right.
Also, let's talk about the fact that Eric Bo was just solo clearing top wave.
It's an interesting strategy, but
it's
probably just. Oh,
he does have Baron. I thought he didn't have Baron. I was a little bit concerned for a second.
All right, Scarlet Vengeance looking to end this game right here, right now, on this Baron push. We have
one fight is all it takes, and
that fight looks like it's about to break out right now.
Ultracat just going in, huge damage onto Crystal X. The Stand United from Positive Thinking isn't even able to save him. Yeah, it's not, and everyone goes down. Huge ult by Poison Water, but he just doesn't do enough damage, and that should be game. Clean ace from the side of the Scarlet Vengeance means that the base will definitely just be falling to pieces. As they have 20 seconds to clean up this base, they'll surely get it no problem with all these minions. And that'll be game 1. Scarlet Vengeance 1-0. But they're able to pull it back. Altracad able to get some huge kills, and
yeah, just big pickups from the Gwen, being able to find those early picks to be able to generate that lead from all the way to Keldrick with the Galio, neutralizing a lot of those plays, either from the Shen or the Kennen. And most importantly, I would say the Kennen and the Varus both getting really hard neutralized out by this Galio. And then just to add on top, the damage from just didn't seem to be there from the side of Alamo. It just felt like that once they got to that point, Thresh and Maokai and Shen were just not enough to peel the Varus from all of the engage, all of the dive that Scarlet Vengeance had built up. Well then, that's the end of game 1. We'll be probably going into a break now. Yeah, we'll be back for the game 2 drafts. See you then.
And we're back. Hello, everybody. Um, we are going to see Game 2 of ALAMO vs Scarlet Vengeance. If you missed it, Scarlet Vengeance up 1 kill. Did I say 1 kill? Sorry,
One kill.
I meant
One
game.
Let's go.
1 game. And they didn't switch sides, right? Scarlet Vengeance still on the red side, which means that ALAMO did opt to pick the blue side again. Hopefully they have some adjustments. Scarlet Vengeance did make an adjustment. For those of you who didn't know, they have subbed in their support. Instead of Eric Bobo, they now have Kekulong. I don't know if that's how I say it.
That is, yeah, that seems right.
We'll see what adjustments ALAMO has this game versus Scarlet Vengeance, seeing that both teams are on the same side. And for now, it looks like it's roughly still the same. We've got Jarvan banned, which is the same. Gwen banned, so respecting Alchicat's Gwen from that game. So I was banned last game. We'll see what Scarlet Vengeance opts to do now that Alchicat's Gwen is gone.
Basically, simple draft adaptations here. We're starting to see Scarlet Vengeance respecting the cannon, respecting its initial playmaking, especially in those early fights that were able to greatly swing ALAMO's early game lead. The Gwen from ALAMO is getting taken away from Alchicad because of the strength that we saw from that early pick. And ALAMO banning out the Shen, it seems from themselves almost. But I guess it's probably also another pick from that Alchicad can play, but they don't want to pick up right off the bat.
And I think with the same bans from Scarlet Vengeance, we might see a similar bot lane again. And Alan's just going to pick up the Mordekaiser themselves. Last game, I believe that ALAMO was on the Bandit. This time they're picking it up. We'll see what Scarlet Vengeance does pick. They have very similar bans, especially towards the bot lane from the side of Scarlet Vengeance. We'll see if they opt to pick something similar with the some variation of Kaisa. No, don't jungler.
New bans do mean that there are new opportunities. Wukong, previously banned, is now picked up for dumb jungler, and we'll probably be able to see a potential counter pick to Mordekaiser here, but it might or it's just gonna be the Kaisa.
No, it's gonna be the Kaisa.
Yep.
He's got you. He's got you covered.
He's also got himself covered. One of his signature picks, especially that we've seen when he's been playing in these tournaments.
Yeah, we'll see what ALAMO decides to pick, and also interesting to see what Scarlet Vengeance will decide to do with the support in the bot lane for Kaisa, because last game that Nautilus didn't end up going so well, and this time ALAMO's just going to pick it up for themselves.
Denying Nautilus, also a pretty good way to engage into the Kaisa. What do you think Scarlet Vengeance should respond into this Nautilus?
Well, they could always pick Thresh and see if they can hit the timing on the Thresh into Nautilus. But they could also opt for something like I don't know how well Leona would go into this.
No, with a Sejuani, no.
Yeah. It's probably not going to be a Leona. We'll see what they opt to do. Maybe something more disengaged. Janna, that would be funny. I don't think it'd be good. But they got Sejuani into the Wukong. Sejuani is pretty hard for Wukong to kill, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, she's just meant to beef tank.
Yeah, and yo, they're picking the Janna. Oh man.
They
picked the Janna. Man, I called it.
Massive disengage on the side of Scarlet Vengeance. We might be able to see the Janna be able to play that huge disengage role for the Kaisa and be able to create the space for her to be able to pour the damage into the Mord, into the Nod, into the Sejuani.
Yeah, that. or the Janna will just do nothing. We'll have to see.
That is always a possibility.
There's always a possibility that Janna hits 0 Qs and Minen doesn't get to play the game. But
Varus getting taken away. A really respectful ban, actually, for on the side of Scarlet Vengeance, trying to respect the fact that last game we saw Crystal Alex have such a strong performance on the Varus,
Oh, I
especially
just
towards.
realized that was Crystal Alex. You know, my bad. I was reading that as Crystal X the entire time. Oh no, it is Crystal X.
Am I? Am I griefing?
It is
It's
Crystal X.
Crystal
It's
X.
just
It is Crystal. It's oh my
there's just an
goodness.
Alex at the end as well. Anyways, Katarina
Crystal X,
ban
I
coming
guess.
out, and the Galio respect ban for Keldrick. Keldrick did play pretty well on that Galio. Very aggressive, a little too aggressive maybe, but he was able to get a lot of things done with that Galio, so I'm just going to ban that away. The Katarina ban from the side of Scarlet Vengeance, the same ban. Looks like It looks like they really don't want the poison water on this Katarina. Um, I guess he's the main of Katarina. I'm not particularly sure. And Ashkan maybe looking to play Olaf here. That would be a little bit fun. Olaf into Mordekaiser doesn't mean that he can't get ulted, but Darius. Let's see what he's
Interesting pickup. Whenever you see a lot of melees, you will generally be able to see a good top laner would like to pick up Darius here. And now we have that aggressive top option for Ultracat to be able to look for the stack building on all of these melee champions and build up that massive dunk on all of them.
Yeah, Almo's melee's gonna have to be very careful when playing around this Darius. And they're even drafting out
another melee champion.
melee champion. Volibear. Huh. I wonder where this Volibear is gonna end up going. Does that make it a Volibear mid or is it a Mordekaiser mid?
It could be flexible, but probably
Yeah, it's very flexible.
they're all of the
mid,
champs
Volibear
can be
jungle,
played in different roles.
top,
And
and
honestly, a
Samira.
fifth melee champion, and Samira might be considered an ADC and might be considered range, but she is 500 range, and most of her fights are done at point blank range. So it seems like ALAMO is really sending it here to get that huge melee fist fight.
It does mean that the Janna will have a lot of value if she's able to get these disengages, and this Vigor Cage also going to be very annoying to deal with for ALAMO. And Scarlet Vengeance should be able to do a lot of damage against this nearly full melee comp from the side of ALAMO. We'll see what ALAMO is cooking with here. I'm not even sure what their lanes are, what their lane assignments are yet. But from the side of Scarlet Vengeance, we're gonna have to see Kekulon play this Janna really well in order to get some good disengages off, as well as Keldrick with the Veigar, trying to get some good disengages off to give time for Altracad's Darius to stack up his hemorrhage, and then get some huge dunks off. Don't know how useful this Kais is going to be this game. Maybe you could shed some light as a Kai'Sa specialist yourself.
It's a champ. It's a champ that can potentially do damage. I'm not gonna lie. Kai'Sa into a lot of melee champions, she needs to have really strong farming to be able to do a lot of damage and punch into these melee HP bars because she does have her passive. But a lot of her damage is related to the ability. She was gonna have to build a really high DPS tank shredding build as opposed to what most Kaisers will tend to build, which sticks around generally high snowballing with Kraken and straight into Navori. So we'll probably see something like Kraken PD and then maybe into a Navori or an IE to be able to build that damage and be able to actually punch through the tanks with as many plasma procs as possible. On the side of besides for that, it seems that ALAMO is just going to be looking for a huge ALAMO is just going to be looking for a huge engage onto the backline of Scarlet Vengeance, while Scarlet Vengeance really wants to just be able to stay back a bit and wait for their champions to be able to build up the stacks that they need. Kai'Sa building up her stacks on tanks, Darius building up his hemorrhage stacks, and being able to create this huge turn potential after disengaging the initial engagement.
And Veigar building his own stacks for infinitely scaling damage.
Stacks on stacks.
Stacks on stacks, but I think that's analysis and the wrong game.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a
And
TFT argument.
we're finally solving some of the mystery of all of these interesting flex picks, and the Volibear is going top lane, potentially. Remember, these players can swap all the way till the last 30 seconds. So they could be doing, if they want, some funny cheesing, but we'll probably be seeing the Volibear go top lane.
Yeah, and it looks like Sejuani is going to be jungle, Mordekaiser mid. Nothing too surprising there. So, and then we're pretty sure that the Scarlet Vengeance side is determined. It'll be Darius top Wukong jungle with a bigger mid. And then their bot lane obviously going to be Kaisa Jana. And versus the Samira Nautilus. Definitely not a safe lane for the Kaisa and the Jana. Um, so we'll see how they're able to play this lane out. Not hits a Q on Jana and without her Q up, and she might just be dead. But we'll see how that one goes.
And as we finish up this draft, it is important to mention that it appears both teams are again, pretty even on the scaling, pretty even on that early game aggression. It will really come down to the fact that whoever is able to really snowball their champions and take over this game. So there will be a lot of attention that can be given to a lot of, almost all three lanes here have carry potential. So it is going to be a really interesting game where where these junglers want to focus and which lanes they want to really propel to this next level.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I think that Scarlet Vengeance would prefer to play towards their top side. I think that Darius has a I don't know about what your opinions on this are, but I think that Darius has a lot more potential in terms of carrying this fight into all these melee champions as opposed to Kaisa. I think that if anything, Dumb Jungler will be looking to just make sure that the Kaisa doesn't fall too far behind the Samira. Meanwhile, on the side of Alamo, Sejuani definitely can get some kills in the spot lane if Venan isn't careful enough. Nautilus, Samir, and Sejuani very good at getting these kills onto such a squishy bot lane. So I'm wondering if we'll see something of an opposite clear again, where Jungler decides to head top lane, while Moondragon heads bot lane and tries to kill the Kaisa and the Janna. Or I could just be completely wrong, and Dumb Jungler decides to path bot as well, and they duke it out in the bot lane, and then leave it up to skill to see who wins in the top and in the solo lanes. Basically, I think that Keldrick, if given the opportunity to scale, is also a very dangerous threat if he's able to just farm, get his stacks, because it's not going to be that easy for the team of Alamo to get onto him with his cage as well as peel from Jana. But yeah, we'll see how this game goes.
All right.
A 2-minute break, and see you guys then for game number 2 of Alamo vs Scarlet Vengeance.
One.
And we're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome to game number 2 of Scarlet Vengeance versus Alamo. And let's see. Looks like Alamo looking for an invade here. Scarlet Vengeance has a standard 5-point start. We'll see if they manage to catch anyone. Defy? Looking for Vinen. Vinen. It's gonna get caught. That's a kill. Oh, unsaid flash. Burned from the side of Vinen. And really good glacial proc. Vinen barely gets out, but he does have to burn both his summoners, which means if I had to predict, Moondragon's running straight to that bot lane. Level 3. We'll see what he decides to do, but I'm pretty sure he's running straight for this bot lane because Vinen has no summoners. One thing to mention, neither top laner has teleport, which means cross-map play is going to be far less than what you would normally expect in a 5v5 setting where both teams have full communication. And also Keldrick has First Strike, because I guess he can proc this pretty easily on Poison Water, and that does mean that he intends on getting a lot of gold, and maybe even trying to carry this game. We'll see how his lane goes, though. And
Oh, cheese looking. Looks like there's gonna be a cheese in the bot lane. Here we go, hook from Nautilus, followed up by the Samira. Just a quick disengage from the Janna, but that's still half of the HP away. Got.
And I think Vinen might have missed some XP there. Not entirely sure, but another
hook.
The tornado misses, and Defy is getting a lot of value out of this Nautilus pick.
Ooh.
Another hook? That one was really close. That actually might have just been a kill. No.
Poison Water taking a trade against Keldrick in this mid lane. Oh, my bad. I'm stinky. Sorry. You guys can't even see the screen yet because I forgot to transition. Suniz production, I guess. Keck. I'm sorry, Shiv. Alright. It has been fixed. This is the state of the game. Alright, Brian. Keep going. My bad.
Yeah, okay. So now everyone can see the stream. For everyone who didn't see it, Vinen was forced to flash by an early invade by Defy. He was forced, Flash Cleanse was forced out by early invade by Defy, and then following that, Defy managed to zone off the bot lane of Scarlet Vengeance a lot, able to get a good chunk of damage onto Kekulon and Vinen.
Trade onto Keldrick, Poison Water looking for that kill, but he's not going to get it. Just look.
Yeah, Poison Water's damage, not quite there yet. CDs are a little bit too long, which means that he won't be able to pick up that kill on Keldrick. But some trades going on in the top lane. Flashpad isn't going to continue looking for this. And Vinen might be in a little bit of danger here. He doesn't have vision.
Interesting. Top lane. That is top lane.
That is a really good kill for Achikat to pick up, considering that he's going to be a pretty big threat later in this game. And Vinen's in a lot of trouble here. He needs someone. He needs Storm Drummler to come down and help him out, because the second he walks up a little bit too far for this cannon minion, he's going to die. And he's just going to have to give it up. A little bit unfortunate for him, but this way's in a really terrible position. And Defy able to just walk up for free, taking poke damage, but Moondragon is here if Vinen ever decides to walk up too far. Moondragon is never too far away. Now that Dumb Jungler is down here a little bit, maybe a little bit safer for Vinen to walk up, maybe farm this wave and then back really quick, because this wave is not in a great position for him to be in, because he does not want to be this far up when Moondragon is hovering bot side. That does mean that Dumb Jungler gets a little bit of a CS lead, because Moondragon spent so much time sitting in that bot lane. Vinen doing a good job of respecting the possibility of a jungle gank. as he's a little bit safer now that both junglers are heading upwards. Although Moon Dragon might just be running straight back down again. But the Vengeance bot lane does have vision here, so they should see this coming. As Moon Dragon is just going to back on the board. The wave will be pushing back, but being in a really tough position for him, down 20, almost 20 CS. This wave is going to come in and equalize that a little bit, but Defy is just waiting in a bush, waiting to see if he can pick something up. They're definitely respecting it. Venon's Flash and Cleanse are up again, is one thing to note. So it will not be the end of the world if you just get hooked here.
Now, if you're ALAMO here, what would you, besides for this bot lane, how would you be really trying to turn around this top lane here? Especially as Ultracat looking for this ultimate and just straight up dunking on positive thinking. Showing that the Darius, especially, even though they counterpick the Volibear to be able to play into this Darius, that Ultracat is having none of it. He's going to be able to solo kill this Volibear, extend his lead, and create even more pressure, and especially into a team of all melees. Meanwhile,
Keldrick just died in the mid lane. He got death rounds by Poison Water. Flashing Ignite down for Poison Water, but Keldrick's gone. That happened, and they're also going to collect on the Drake with that because Scarlet Vengeance bot lane doesn't have any priority here. It's just First Dragon though. A Mountain Dragon over to the side of ALAMO. Not too big of a deal. It was a little bit unfortunate for Vengeance that Ultracat ended up dying, Keldrick ended up dying there. But Ultracat is doing really well for himself. So we'll see if Ultracat can carry this game. If I was Vengeance here, if I was ALAMO here, I would say that this Darius is really, really hard to deal with. You're probably going to have to send 3 top in order to deal with him, just because I don't think that they will have quite enough damage to deal with the Darius, especially when Ultracat gets his reset off and is able to
and as we were saying that dumb jungle using the cycle, using Wukong, using it's called Cyclone, right?
It is called Cyclone.
Yeah, I'm good. All right. And meanwhile, Defy trying to find an engage onto Kekulum. However, it is not enough. The disengage from Janna's Nato, so good at deflecting the potential engage from this Not Samira to try to kill and create pressure in this bot lane. Now, here's the issue. What you have a Janna in the bot lane trying to neutralize as I say that, Defy looking for another engage onto Kekulum. It just will probably cancel it back, but that's probably going to be it. And again, with the strength of this Janna when it comes to this disengage, the strength of Vigar on disengage, it becomes so hard to be able to make plays except for that one play that, besides for that potential one play that we've seen from the Mord being able to Death Realm and be able to walk down the Vigar. How do you, as ALAMO, how are you able to create any chance of really winning this game with a 2-0 Darius, which is so strong into 5 melee champions?
We do have to be aware though that Positive Thinking, he's really trying to deny this back for Ultracat. He's chucking these moves in over and over again, and he has been winning some of these trades with his PTA. He is able to get these solid trades into Ultracat even though he is down 2 kills. Since he's building this Amp Tone, he does have more damage than you might expect. We'll see whether or not that is true now that he Ultracat has cashed in and he has his boots up, but
Go. Speaking of which, Defy finding another engage. Venon being forced to burn the cleanse, even with the Janna's disengage. And Defy looking for it again. Flash, auto, ulti, Q. And even with all of that, Janna's disengage is still enough to be able to push them all off. And even with the exchange of flashes, Janna is still able to save her flash while being able to disengage and keep Venon alive through all of that.
Yeah, Kekulum is just playing so well here. He's able to get these great disengages off. Venon is really low. I don't know if he should step up any further, and Mid lane, take a look at mid lane. If we take a look at mid lane, Patrick's might just be dead again.
Another
Um,
gank from the Sejuani, burning the ulti to catch Keldrick off guard.
And Valen is looking for a dive. Kegulon trying to stay alive,
Oh.
and
Whoops.
yeah,
This is what happens when I'm misclicking. Happens. Speaking of which, Ultracat looking for a dunk. And this should just be another kill. And dunked and finish. That ult was probably actually unnecessary, and we'll probably put it on cooldown for an extra 90 seconds. But still, another kill picked up for Ultracat. And being able to continue snowballing into a really favorable matchup for the Darius. Still, Alamo being able to find that pick on the dive onto the bot lane, the picks in mid, is able to really still be able to develop some potential playmaking in the future. Another thing is, if I know we haven't talked about it yet, but positive. But before I was going to mention, positive thinking is going AP Volibear. What do you think about that?
Well, to be fair, when it was earlier, when he just had his when he just had his Phoenix Codex, and he was using it, and he was able to trade pretty strongly into Ultracat before Ultracat got his back off. The only thing being that now that Ultracat is so far ahead, the AP is far less relevant because Ultracat can just tank it all. It looks like he's going Infinity Edge, or sorry, Trinity Force. I don't know why I said Infinity Edge. And he's just the AP you tend to use it to be able to have a high damage lane into Darius, so that Darius isn't able to build up his stacks in time and kill you in a longer trade. But now that positive thinking is behind, has less gold, has less damage, and has less health, Ajikad is able to just nullify this AP build to a certain extent, and his trades end up being a lot better in the bot lane. Long forced a flash, that saved flash paying off from earlier, and they're just gonna walk out. We do have to be aware that Crystal X here has his shield buff finished, as opposed to Venom, who does not have medium items at all. And
speaking of which, Defy looking for this engage. Crystal Alex dashing over the wall. Huge. We're about to see, and there's it. Samira ulti used. Surprisingly, none of the kills go to Samira, but that is the engage power of the Nautilus, of the Sejuani, to be able to set up those picks onto a champion with cleanse like Kaisa.
Yeah, in that situation, Venom and Kekulon were just walking up a little bit too far for their own good. They didn't have enough vision there to necessarily be able to walk up there, with Crystal X being able to go over the wall, with Moondragon being able to go over the wall like that. So when Defy was able to land a hook, it was pretty much over for Kekulon. Dumb Jungler
looking for an engage here. Oh, nope. His bot lane is a little bit too late to make a potential play here, so he's going to back off.
Yeah, Dumb Jungler was hanging around there. If he had been like 3 or 4 seconds faster, he might have been able to get there in time to make a play. But unfortunately, Venom and Kekulon were just a little bit too far up and died a little bit too fast, and he wasn't able to respond in time. Top lane looking for his kill into Ultracad, but Ultracad's really strong. I don't know if they'll be able to do this. Does not have his mythic yet, so this is the one opportunity to make a play.
Ultracad looking for it. Oh, he dunks before he gets the stacks. He didn't get 5 stack yet, so his ultimate wasn't able to execute the Sejuani.
That's a little unfortunate. That was their chance to kill him, and they capitalized on it. Dumb Jungler looking for something on Moondragon, just going to get the prompt though.
Still a little bit of a takeaway.
And he's just gonna walk right into positive thinking. Yeah, just gonna walk out there. Nothing much to do there. We gotta look at this bottom lane CS differential here. Venon's down 40 CS, and there's really nothing you can do about it. The Crystal X and Defy are just able to just push him in over and over again with the pressure from Defy, even though Kekulon has been really good on these disengages, and looks like something is gonna happen here. Kekulon's just gonna walk off to make sure that Venom looks.
Oh no, and that's another kill picked up by Crystal Alex.
Something's happening in the top lane.
Oh,
I also think he might be dead. No? That healing was really big. Dumb Jungler flashing, doesn't get it. But Herald's here, he's gonna have to run. And they're gonna get the tower here. Unfortunately, not first tower. It seems to be almost a repeat of last game, as Venus has to cleanse. Is he gonna get this?
oh,
Oh,
flash over
flash
by
forwards.
Samira and flash away from the the Gromp.
Grom? Grom kills?
Oh my goodness,
That was
one auto away.
close. Keldrick might find this actually. We'll see if he is able to spot this one out.
No, but
doesn't
he is
know.
looking for Crystal Alex here. Crystal Alex, no cleanse here. Only that has the heal. Outplayed, I guess.
Keldrick even used Ghost for that. I don't even know if that was necessary. Just able to press R. Nothing.
Oh, another pickup, another stun by Keldrick. Moondragon's just gonna dash over the wall and get himself to safety. Oh, but Alchicad looking for another play. Is able to find that pull onto volley, but again with the lack of stacks.
Yeah. I said earlier that the AP was the AP allowed positive to take short.
Speaking of which, we have Moondragon engaging onto Keldrick here with the Sejuani ultimate. Huge cage to try to zone them off, but Alchicad will probably fall to the Mordekaiser ulti from Poison Water. Venan forced to flash out here as Dumb Jungler tries to make a small disengage, but is not able to save Calculum. Calculum might have Janna ulti, but decides not to spend it there.
Yeah, so another thing is that Alchicad uses ultimate there, which means that the Poison Water on his Mordekaiser is able to just win the 1v1 in the Death Realm. I think that if Alchicad had saved his ultimate and not used it on something that wasn't going to kill, given that he didn't have enough stacks and didn't have the damage threshold, if he had saved it in order to, for a more important fight later on, he wouldn't be able to 1v. He could have possibly been able to 1v1 the Poison Water there, and maybe the fight would have turned out differently. But unfortunately, they were just Dumb Jungler Cyclone wasn't up as well, and they're just not able to win that fight. And Alamo's going to convert that into a third dragon for Soul Point.
And another Soul Point picked up by the team of all, and we have Dumb Jungler looking for an engage. A little bit upset about that third dragon pickup, but we have it's trying to style Crystal Alex, but that is not enough. Seems like Dumb Jungler was a little bit upset about the 3 dragon pickup and decided that it was time to make an engage. It was time to make some type of a play, and he's able to execute a 3-man engage. Venan quickly following up and being able to secure those kills on people that were honestly pretty low to start that dragon.
Yeah, I think that without a contest, or with only Dumb Jungler there to contest, it might have been okay. But since Venan was able to respawn in time and then get in there with the ultimate, and Kekulon able to walk up and just hit some Qs for a little bit more damage, Dumb Jungler is just able to clean it up. And Poison Water might be in a bit of trouble here. 3-man does have the ultimate. Death Realm, Venan dancing in the corner is just gonna walk out probably.
Wait, but he's still stuck in the cage. He's stuck in the cage. And Defy looking for that engage onto Keldrick. Hook lands, the ulti lands, and Crystal Alex able to do the damage for Poison Water to pick it up. And again, Defy finding another angle onto Kekulon. And this should just be Herald for the side of Alamo.
Yeah, Defy is playing really well this game. Able to find these really, really clutch hooks. And the Poison Water, I thought he walked up a little too far, but wasn't too far in his book. He has the support of his team and actually is able to bait Keldrick into a death, and Kekulon even falls afterwards. And they're just gonna drop the Herald mid. We'll see how much they can get. Maybe 2 charges, but definitely not gonna be able to take the second tower. It is. Yeah, they do get the tower, but hey, a little bit of damage shielded from the Janna shield. A little bit's better than nothing, I guess. And they're just gonna play around this mid lane.
And here,
maybe looking for a Baron on the side of Alamo. They definitely are stronger right now. Moondragon has this Radiant Virtue finish. and the Poison Water really strong with Riftmaker and the Andrews completed.
Uh,
And do they even know? Maybe not. Keldrick's fine. Keldrick
all
finds
right.
positive thinking. They have a feel. They know something's up, but are they going to be able to contest? Dumb Jungler's not even on the map right now. It's probably just going to go down.
This should just be banned for the side of Alamo. Huge amounts of disengage used here. Nautilus ult used, Sejuani ult used, but both of them are used to disengage. But now they're gonna look to engage with Defy, getting a hook onto Keldrick. Crystal Alex going to the middle of the whole enemy team, but getting one shot right off the bat. We see more to the Poison Water finding that ulti onto Dumb Jungler as the rest of the team collapses onto Keldrick and Kekulum to be able to find those kills and pick up another win right after burning two of their ultis to just disengage any potential steal on the Baron.
Honestly, that was a very winnable fight for Scarlet Vengeance had Aldrich actually been there. But this lack of TP is, like I said in the beginning of the match, is coming into play here. Aldrich doesn't have the TP, and so he's not able to rotate to the fight. And since he was stuck in the bot lane, even after they realized that Scarlet Vengeance realized that Alamo was taking Baron, Aldrich just wasn't able to get there in time. And
speaking of which, Aldrich looking for a 1v1 against positive thinking, and this should just be a solo kill.
And he might just be able to walk out. That's a little bit unfortunate for positive thinking. He probably thought that Aldrich didn't dare to stay, but he was still there for just a couple more seconds and able to find the kill. Yeah, as I was saying, it was almost good for the side of Scarlet.
Oh, another stun landing on from Keldrick. Venan going in onto Crystal Alex. The Dumb Jungler committing the Cyclone to try to be able to find any potential pick onto Crystal Alex or Defy, but it does not seem to be enough. That is just two ultis burnt, but it doesn't seem like it's being able to create another. Oh, but there's another engage from the Dumb Jungler and Kekulum. They're looking for Defy here, but he's just so tanky. He's able to just create so much time for Poison Water to be able to walk up and take Venan into this Death Realm. And this should just be another pickup for Poison Water. Ultracad trying his hardest to be able to look for some type of play, but it just doesn't seem to be enough as Crystal Alex gets another one kill. That's not a double kill because Poison Water does seem to pick it up, but another huge win from Alamo. And now they just get to pour into the base, and they might look to even try to end here. It'll probably just be the inhib, but they'll probably be able to get this inhib and the soul here.
Yeah, this is definitely soul for them. We'll see if they just straight up end. I don't know if they have enough damage to end.
Speaking of which, Dumb Jungler looking to go into this fight. Venan looking to try to kill Poison Water on the side, but it's not enough. They also, although Dumb Jungler is able to find Defy, because Defy was trying to zone Dumb Jungler off from the rest of his team, Venan was caught. But it seemed the huge engage, Dumb Jungler finally has ulti. Keldrick commits ulti onto the, and that's a wipe onto the Smear and the Volley Bear.
And they might not even get the dragon now. They were a little bit too greedy, pushing a little bit too far, and they're probably not going to be able to get the dragon here, as it's just put the Poison Water up. A little bit of a throw on the side of Alamo. It won't make too big of a difference for them, but they would have really liked to have this Chemtech Soul secured, and Ultracad's looking for this.
Ultracad looking for the 1v1. No ulti, but he does finally have the stacks. He has the bonus AD, but it's not enough. Even
really good flash from the Poison Water is able to connect the Q where it might not have necessarily landed. And yeah, Ultracad unfortunately does not win that yet. Doesn't have the ultimate up. Would have won if he did. Ultracad just seems to not have ultimate up at the right times. There's just been so many occasions where his ult has not been quite up where he needed it. But yeah, Ultracad down now for another 10 seconds or so.
And even though we have Ultracad getting caught out, and leak. Oh, and I'm getting bugged. Classic Riot. Thank you. And we're back. Even though it was possible for Ultracat, even though Ultracat died there, still I might have misspoke. They did not look for the Drake after Herald, and they tried to commit to an end, and that costed them their sole point. So even though they were able to get that extra Nexus Tower, and even with Ultracat overextending, that was still not enough, and still created the situation where Scarlet Vengeance was able to hold on for dear life to this game. As I say
And
that,
Dumb Jungler just picks up a kill. But that does come at the cost of a Cyclone, which is a really important ability for him to disengage the rest of Alamo. So we'll see if that matters. It's going to be up in how many seconds? Around 40 seconds. We'll see whether or not that makes a difference, as this Baron is coming up very soon. 20 seconds on the Baron, which means that Dumb Jungler will not have Cyclone up for it. Ultracat this time does have his Ghost, and does have his ultimate. We'll see if he's able to do something here. Not level 16, so it doesn't have free resets.
oh,
Poison Water.
almost looking, Keldrick looking for the cage onto Poison Water. It doesn't land. However, now we see an interesting trap idea from. Oh,
That was an inch. I saw the vision there. Unfortunately, Vengeance not there, so they're not able to convert anything. But there was an interesting play to be had there, for sure. Would have liked to see it play out. Would have liked to see it play out, but unfortunately, Vengeance not there. Keldrick doesn't have teleport. He's not going to be a part of this fight.
and it looks like we have Alamo starting up the Baron. They haven't been able to fully set up full vision control, so it does seem that Scarlet Vengeance is aware of this potential play. However, they are not going to contest it, so this should just be a free Baron for Alamo. And as Alamo is able to just walk to mid lane, and now they with this Baron, they might look to try to end the game.
Yeah, Keldrick was just did not have good positioning there. He was in the bot lane when there was a potential for the Baron play to happen, and then he's just not there to ever be a part of the fight. So with Dumb Jungler not having a Cyclone up quite yet,
Dumb Jungler isn't here
they
yet.
decide to.
He isn't here yet. They're looking to
here.
end. This could just be it. All right, we have on the side Poison Water trying to look for an engage, ulting Ultracat out of the fight. Moondragon trying to find an engage. Venan still getting engaged on by Defy, but he's able to ult out of it to the back.
But the Nexus
But
just
that
died.
doesn't matter. The game's just over.
Defy and Moondragon just able to hit the Nexus, and they're too tanky for Vengeance to do anything about it, and that'll be game 2 to Alamo.
I think the play was just a little they were able to rush in because Scarlet Vengeance was just not ready for them to walk in so quickly to the base.
Yeah, Dumb Jungler was just busy farming the top wave, pushing it out, and Alamo decided, oh, we're just gonna run it. Just able to end, and that means that we get a game 3. So everyone, stick around. We'll be back soon for our game 3. And we're back, everyone, for a game number 3, and the draft already started.
All right.
We do need to note that the Scarlet Vengeance and Alamo did decide to switch sides. Scarlet Vengeance starting off the Mordekaiser ban, and Alamo with the Jarvan again.
All right.
Um,
We have Alamo still trying to respect the Jarvan, making sure to deny that from what's his name?
Dumb Jungler.
Dumb Jungler. By the way, another thing to mention: Scarlet Vengeance subbing out Calculum, bringing back Eric Bobo for Game 3. Besides for that, we're back to the main draft. We have Kennen getting banned away. Respect ban still noted from Game 1. Mordekaiser getting banned away from as a respect game from Game 2.
Game 2.
So it seems like Scarlet Vengeance is starting to respect some of the new picks that have been developed from Alamo in the recent games. Meanwhile, Alamo sticking to what they previously have banned at the start. They'll probably adapt to make sure that Gwen is not returning for Game 3. Xayah getting banned from Scarlet Vengeance, denying it as a strong disengaged champion for what Scarlet Vengeance usually likes to build is pretty high aggressive engaged dive comps.
That does mean that Jinx is open as compared to the previous games. We'll see if Alamo decides to pick up on the Jinx. Because the Scarlet Vengeance opted to ban Mordekaiser and Kennen, which means that they don't have the Jinx ban. We'll see how much that actually matters. And Alamo is going to choose to ban Hecarim as their third ban.
And Jinx taken straight up. This is the adaptation that Scarlet Vengeance is going for. They want to try to pick a hyper carry in the spot lane and potentially pair it up with the rest of their team where they could potentially look for something a little more versatile than the engaged comps or the more kite back comp that they've tried in game 2. Alamo responding with a Shen pick, trying to go back to with their confidence that they don't to their logic back in game 1 where no Mordekaiser means probably a good chance that Shen will be able to do really well in this game. And then we have Nautilus trying to be picked up, Mordekaiser,
Morgana as the
Morgana the counter, and Wukong.
And Wukong is open again
Still open.
as Alamo chooses to ban Hecarim. We'll see if Alamo decides to pick up the Sejuani again.
Varus is also still open. Samira is also still open as they might look to try to...
Sivir?
Oh, Sivir is interesting. Sivir is really interesting. Is that a confirmed? No, it is Kaisa instead.
Kaisa. So it is classic Kaisa Nautilus bot lane. And so, as a Kaisa specialist yourself, how's this matchup going in the bot lane?
Technically, Kaisa Not does have the ability to put more pressure in lane. However, Jinx Morgana is still really, really strong in the ability to be able to pick 2v2. And they are able to have a lot of turn potential here. However, there is this Shen and the Nautilus to be able to peel this and create a huge, strong potential to create a really big dive comp on the side of Alamo. Scarlet Vengeance needs to be able to respect this dive and start looking to ban some of the dive champions. Katarina instantly taken off the board.
Yeah, and they banned Katarina all 3 games. If the Poison Water wanted to play it, well, unfortunately, he did not get it at all. And the Darius banned away.
Galio,
from Ultracad, and Galio Keldrick, unfortunately, not going to get a rerun of his Galio in Game 3.
It'll be interesting to see that. Looks like Maokai is not also returning. So it looks like a lot of bans just simply taking away things that have already been seen in this game. Either through the idea that they were just too strong or just simply boredom, but probably because of strength. Anyways, we have Alamo probably looking to pick up their jungler here. They already see the Wukong, and it does not make sense to blind their mid here yet.
Sejuani is open still. They're probably looking for a tanky jungler or something to dive. And yeah. Oh, Zac.
It's a Zac. Similar concept, but still looking for an even heavier dive in exchange for a little lack in CC.
And that does mean that it's going to be very dangerous to be the bot lane of Scarlet Vengeance here. Kaisa Nautilus with Zac to dive and Shen as support with his Stand United. Syndra is a really good pick to disengage. She has a lot of self disengage. And they are going to pick it up for Keldrick. Keldrick on Syndra.
Finally, this top counter pick, Scarlet Vengeance has made sure to get top counter pick against Alamo every single game, and we'll
They
finally
don't actually have it here. So we'll see what happens, because
and this is the counter pick is just going to be an Ornn. Really straightforward. They want to look for the scaling on the Jinx, on the Syndra, and they don't want anything fancy or complicated for this early game. Alamo looking to get this Vladimir finally to round out the lack of AP damage and create this huge potential to dive bot lane. Zac and Vladimir, both really good champions at tanking aggro and being able to disengage, tank and drop aggro, and Nautilus and Kaisa really good at potentially diving bot. If anything screamed dive bot as hard as this comp, I don't know what does.
yeah, it's going to be very dangerous for Venon here in the bot lane. And he does have the Morgana to prevent some of the CC, but there's plenty of magic damage from the side of Alamo to kill that shield, which means that it's not going to be easy for Venon to survive here against this very heavy dive comp. And plus, Eric Bobo's not safe himself. He is able to just get blown up as a Morgana, not very tanky, and so definitely a very dangerous position for the bot lane. So hopefully Dumb Jungler are able to take some of the pressure off of them by pathing bot side as well. Because Wukong very strong disengage once he hits 6 with the Cyclone. So we'll see what ends up happening here. Dumb Jungler definitely needs to be aware that his bot lane's in a lot of danger very early on into this game.
And beyond just the side of Dumb Jungler, all of Scarlet Vengeance has to be really, really careful here. They do have the ability to outscale with this Jinx and this Syndra and do huge amounts of damage and pour into Alamo's huge HP bars in the late game. However, they have to make it there first. And Jinx Morgana,
even when they make it to the late game, Vladimir scales pretty well himself. So they still need to be careful even when they hit the late game.
and beyond that, not only that, we also have really vulnerable bot lanes, and even Ornn is kind of vulnerable in this game to a potential 3-man. So it's really important for Scarlet Vengeance to keep tabs on this jungle, on this mid, to get that vision and deny any chance. For Alamo, they should be looking to really open up as hard as possible right out the gates and just create this pressure and develop their jungle temple based off of knowledge of where Wukong is. If they know where Wukong is, they'll easily be able to prevent any counter ganks of any sorts and be able to execute strong dives to snowball this game out of control.
Yeah, and Keldrick has to be very careful with his wave management here. He needs to be able to shove waves to punish Vladimir whenever Vladimir tries to roam. Whenever the Vladimir tries to roam. However, if he shoves waves when the poison water is just faking a roam, and he has his jungler right around the corner, Keldrick's also very vulnerable to dying, especially if he uses his E to clear the wave. So definitely something to watch out for as well. If Keldrick mismanages his wave a little bit too much, or he makes a mistake in terms of where he's holding his wave or what he's pushing or not, he might just lose the entire game for his team if he's not careful with it.
Well then, we'll be probably going to a short break here. Stick around and find out who wins between Scarlet Vengeance versus Alamo in the final deciding game.
And we're back for game number 3 of Scarlet, Vengeance versus Alamo. And both teams grouping up for a 5v5 level 1. Love to see it.
This could go both ways. Watch on this Morgana Q. They spotted them. They know.
Them. They know exactly Alamo's positioning. We'll see how they decide to respond to this, though. A lot of positioning going on. Both teams sitting as 5.
We have a little bit of a standoff here.
You think they know?
Oh.
Well, Vengeance definitely knows. Do you think Alamo knows where Vengeance is coming from? Wait.
We're about to find out. Big root.
And the hook goes
That's
down.
just the first blood.
And that's first blood. Venan able to get first blood. They're looking for more. Venan has the get excited passive if they manage to get something else. And the binding just barely misses. And Defy able to get out. Very fast burst from
But
the
still,
side of Vengeance.
First blood onto Venan, which is really, really good for snowballing this hyper carry into the late game as early as possible.
And they're still looking for more. Eric Bowl gets hooked, goes low,
Flash.
Ignite, flash for flash. And they're just going to walk off, but Moondragon has to reset. He's going to be really late to his clear. And Eric Bobo did go flash for flash and does have to reset. They know dumb jungler starting to red.
And this is really bad actually for Alamo because somehow, even though the Morgana has to reset, we end up in a situation where Moondragon is starting off about 2 camps down and without a leash here on the side of Alamo. And he's probably going to have to look for these Raptors first to try to even be able to have a substantially healthy clear. Dumb Jungler already looking to be able to start this 3rd camp and move into either mid lane or, but speaking...
Venan gets hooked, but nothing's going to happen there.
Defy still finding so much value onto this Nautilus.
Yeah, Defy's hook champions have been really good this game. He's able to find the hooks that he needs to, very important hooks. Has been helping this bot lane out a lot for the side of Alamo.
Oh, speaking of which, though, Defy getting hit by the root. Venan flashing forward. Oh,
Eric Bobo misses the Q, but Dumb Jungler is here. Crystal X probably just dead. We'll just see whether or not
and he just gets walked down. Yep, another kill. This time picked up by Dumb Jungler on the Wukong. And Vengeance having a great start to this game.
Yeah, very good, especially since they were looking to scale with a much stronger scale, much more scaling type build this game. It means that these early leads are going to be very powerful in the hands of Vengeance when it gets later into the game. Hopefully they're able to snowball this lead.
Right. We have, besides for that, a pretty slow game. And we should expect a pretty slow game here. As there should be a good amount of farming. Dumb Jungler getting caught, getting spotted here and has to just walk out. But oh.
Poison water? Oh! Wait, that was actually a sick E by Keldrick. Unfortunately, no damage to follow up on it. That was a really cool play.
Predicting the prediction on the fly. Interesting.
Unfortunately, there's just no damage, so not able to pick up the kill. It looks cool, though.
Defy finding another engage, but the black shield. Oh.
Oh. Gets hit by the trap, but able to just walk out. Does get chunked pretty hard, and Venan does so much damage hitting these rockets. No kill pressure, unfortunately, quite yet.
Otherwise, we're seeing a bit of action in the bot lane. Top lane still just, well, top lane.
Well, it's tanks being tanks. Ultracat gets a good trade in there, but it's just tanks versus tanks. It's they're just slapping each other with meat sticks.
As of now, we're starting to see that even with the expected leads that Alamo is trying to get, that Vengeance is still just winning the trades, winning a lot of the skirmishes around the map. We should expect some turnaround from Alamo around the level 6 point where their champions just become so much stronger, but they got to do something fast. This game is going to run out of their hands if this continues this way and reaches this way to about 15 minutes.
They are looking for something bot lane, but like that level 1 play was really critical for Vengeance. Moondragon hasn't been able to get on the map at all.
And
Dread's flying onto
an ulti?
Dark Bobo.
That can't be it. And they're not going to even look for the dragon with it either.
They're just gonna walk away. Defy looking for something. Good binding by Eric Bobo, and Defy just can't move. Venus probably just gonna get the kill. Heal goes down. Venus can catch up? No, not quite. Oh! Good binding from Bobo and able to pick up the kill onto Defy, and that could possibly be Dragon. Venus ran out of mana at the end there. Wasn't able to pick up the kill, but good binding from Eric Bobo.
Just seems that, again, Alamo's bot lane overforces a bit here. They're getting a bit eager because of, it seems like, although the Nautilus hooks can connect, it's just not that easy when you're playing into a Morgana to be able to guarantee an engage. The Black Shield being able to soak up so much of the engage, a historically strong counter into Nautilus's hard engage. Keldric Burning Flash.
Very good flash timing. Saves it for a last second. He was probably hoping that it didn't quite land, but does have to burn flash. Also, Eric Bobo has Predator and Demolish.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know about that one, but
Demolish is a rune that can be taken by supports, especially the range type. Keldric with the foot.
Flash here.
Oh.
Interesting either, but he's fine. He's gonna get punished for not having flash.
And it's pretty surprising considering the fact that Zac still had flash to be able to potentially look at, and passive to look to tank the tower there. Vlad did have flash and ulti. I mean, ghost and ulti, but still they had a lot of potential to make a play there. But
they're looking for a 3-man dive onto Keldric here. Let's see if Keldric walks too far up. Yeah. And ER from Vladimir and Keldric at the stun. Not quite enough. Passive goes down. Eric Bobo is here, but he's way too late to the party.
But there's only one blood left.
But there's another one.
And that should just be a 1-for-1.
Yeah. Good 1-for-1.
Oh.
Unfortunate. Oh. Ultra Kid looking for an ultimate, and the Poison Water forced a flash there. Really good roam from Ultra Kid, just able to get a flash out. Keldric unfortunately dies there, but
is the play even Is the play even worth it? They burnt so much time. Moondragon had to spend so much time. Defy had to walk up and relinquish any pressure that the Kai'Sa could have had on the Jinx in this time. Jinx just being able to shove into the Kai'Sa knowing that she has that advantage as an L. Meanwhile, Vladimir having to burn the flash. Nautilus, the Zax not only committing his time but also his life to that play.
Venan getting caught up on flash goes down, and Defy's caught. Venan's just autoing them for free. Crystal X doesn't have enough damage, and Venus is going to get everything. Shen Stay United comes out. Really good binding from Eric Bobo, and Venus is just going to clean everything up. Does he have R? Yes, he does, and he lands it. And Venan with a very clean, Venan and Eric Bobo with a very clean 2v2. Even with Positive Thinking, Stand United is able to clean up a double kill, and Positive Thinking doesn't even get to teleport in.
And another thing to mention was that while that play was happening, Zac was spending more time trying to steal. Moondragon was trying to spend more time to try to steal that Herald, it looked like, but just couldn't find the angle for that either. So again, this jungle lead, this ADC lead, building up even greater and becoming much much harder for Alamo to look for a potential way back into this game.
Yeah, like you said, it's really hard for Alamo here. They're down 4,000 gold, and they should be a comp that's capitalizing early game, but Moondragon is not able to have as much of an impact on the game as he would have liked, probably.
I mean, we have 1,000 gold advantage on Wukong, about 1,500 gold advantage on Jinx. Like, how do you, what do you think is the best way to come back? Oh, speaking of which,
Good. All Ornald's coming down. They're going to get Defy. I don't think Defy got here. Yeah. Depth charge does go down, and he's just not able to do anything with it. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And I'm just dropping the Herald. Some water is not going to die. The Touch's just making power and dying. Not sure about that play.
But that was a good pick still for Alamo. That was actually really, really important for Alamo, as they're finally able to pick up that mid. Oh, the root barely misses. Close.
Very close skill shots from Dean and Eric Webble. Not quite able to get the kill back. Not sure what Keldrick was trying to do there. The Poison Water is really tanky, despite the fact that he's not building that much health, as it just comes with the champion. I'm probably looking for something. Eric Webbe's Dark Binding goes wide, and they're just going to walk out.
Well,
Dumb Jungler looking for something. Dark Binding lands onto Defy. Dumb Jungler going in, pops the Cyclone, and he has Cyclone 2 to get the kill into Defy again. Really well played from Dumb Jungler, just looking for these picks, and Defy not respecting the fact that Dumb Jungler could be there, gets caught up and dies.
By this point, Alamo should really be looking to try to actually. They're taking this game. They need to take this game fast, but they're taking it a bit too fast right now. And now with this huge lead, they have to think about their next
Eldrick
moves.
has to flash again, but it doesn't matter. Eric Bobo's back with that Predator. That's the binding. Poison Water does have Pool, and Defy is here. Moondragon is here. Stand United goes down from positive thinking. Death charge onto Eric Bobo. Poison Water gets the kill onto Dumb Jungler. Goes down to the goes down to the Unleashed Power, and it's a mess in this fight. But Venon's here to clean everything up. We'll see. The Rocket doesn't quite manage to kill Positive Thinking. Defy coming back in, and well, they wanted to fight, and they did get a fight. Big shutdown going over to the side of the poison water. Does end up dying to Keldrick's Unleashed Power, but really good fight.
Interestingly, good for Alamo actually. A 2 for 2, which is really good, especially with the shutdown involved. Alamo needs to keep looking for plays where they have that type of a numbers advantage to be able to go either even or ahead in these kills and find themselves some gold to get back into this game.
Yeah, if Alamo is just able to get a little bit more gold, a little bit more damage, so as long as they keep training these 1-for-1s, it is to their advantage because they'll be able to find some gold and maybe one-shot these carriers.
Now we're back to a pretty standard farming situation, except for Defy. Oh, Defy trying to look for something, but he's definitely looking for a play of some sort. Especially onto the Flashless Syndra. However, this is costing them a little bit in the bot lane. Meanwhile, Moondragon.
Crystalex is doing fine. He's not down that much CS, all things considered.
That's spotted, Eric. Oh. Right now, both junglers trying to give attention to this bot side, making sure that both bot sides don't get picked out. And if I'm not mistaken, we do have Dragon coming up as the next objective, but it is far into the future. Oh.
Bobo has the Black Shield, and Depth Charge goes down, heal goes down. Defy might just be dead, though. Not stunned forever, and Vina just gets the kill. Moondragon's here. Vina knocked up. Vina knocked up again. Cannot move, and he goes down. Big shutdown for Moondragon. Unfortunately, didn't go to Crystal X, so Crystal X is not quite back in the game yet.
But still, a good 2-for-1, looking for more opportunities for Alamo to try to scratch their way back into this game, especially against such a tough team comp to play into once you get towards that late game.
Yeah, Vita unfortunately just not able to move. Gets knocked up 3 times by Moondragon. That's just the power of Zac. That's what we would have liked to see earlier in the game out of Moondragon, but better late than never, I guess.
This is an interesting Herald setup. They're just right now. Vengeance recognizes the fact that their mid will be able to quickly shove in, even though they have negative mid prio, and that their top has already created enough prio to be able to generate a free Herald.
Can
But
we talk about Caldrick's build for a second? I don't know how good that build is.
it's
Quite
just
an interesting vibe. Quite interesting vibes there.
it's
Um,
probably just standard. The no magic mantle is just because he's been taking a lot of damage between Zac and Vlad. I don't think it's gonna get finished though to anything.
yeah. Still, does mean that his item is very late in comparison to the poison water, especially since I believe that his item, poison water's item, is a little bit cheaper.
Poison
Um,
water is also up 1,000 gold. But
yeah, the CS advantage as well as the shutdown that he managed to pick up. And there's 4 people
big
hovering
heal.
around mid. Top lane.
Alamo spending so many resources this game, whether it's Moondragon or Defy, always trying to make sure that Poison Water gets to be able to punish Caldrick as much as possible and generate this mid lead, especially that it is currently one of the biggest leads they can maintain as of now.
Yeah, Poison Water definitely gonna be their main damage going into these later fights. Munin still very susceptible to getting one shot no matter how fed he gets, and Poison Water pretty good at one shotting people on this Vladimir.
Oh shit. Even though
Looking for a dragon here? Any
yeah,
fight gonna work
Alamo
out?
somehow being able to pick up the drag. Oh?
Altricade looking for the ultimate, and Defy just dies to the unleashed power. Dumb Jungler has Cyclone up, goes for the Cyclone onto Poison Water, and he just gets the kill. Flashes forwards, doesn't find anything, but he probably thought that Moondragon or Crystal X were a little bit closer. Good fight from the side of Vengeance. They're able to pick up some kills, or 2 kills after the dragon goes down.
However, what's interesting is that Alamo, even while down so much gold, was still able to find that dragon. I'm surprised that they were
I
able
think
to.
Vengeance was just a little bit late to the fight there, but they're gonna get mid now.
Wait, Alamo needs to respond to this.
Bot lane, Crystal X can't back, getting chased all the way in by Altercade, or Altercad, and there's gonna get in him. Gonna look
That's just
for a
probably an
fight.
him. No, no
No
fight. It's
fight.
just gonna be a clean getaway from Vengeance. The Herald is the inhib's take is honestly a little early right now. There's not much that Vengeance can pressure unless they're going to go for this early Baron with the super minion wave mid lane, giving them an extra 90 gold every wave.
Yeah, Poison Water seems to be able to clear this mid wave pretty easily. It seems to just be this inhib might just be giving Poison Water free gold.
So as of now, Scarlet Vengeance should definitely be looking to stop for the the gold collection that's going on in the mid lane, push out this mid wave with the advantage of the super minion, and trying to generate vision and potentially a Baron take off of this. Meanwhile, we have Alamo needing to be able to respond to this potential look onto Baron, especially in the next 3 minutes, while nothing else is potentially up, and Vengeance will be keen to try to take this Baron as soon as possible to make sure they can punish Alamo as quickly as possible.
Yeah, some decent vision going down, vision control going down. Map is relatively dark for the side of Alamo, but Vengeance also can't see that deep into Alamo jungle.
Oh, speaking of which, engage!
If I'm looking for something, Black Shield goes down, Ultra Kid uses ult, doesn't get to recast, Cyclone goes in, Dumb Jungler going deep into the front line, because apparently he can't reach the back line, and for some reason Poison Water has wrapped around behind, but he has no team. And Ultra had flash forwards, not quite going to find Poison Water, and the Poison Water. They have to be careful with this flank. Heldrick, a good stun. Is he gonna use his ultimate? Doesn't quite have the range, and Poison Water.
Ooh. But still,
that
should be. Oh, the Baron. Oh.
Moondragon went for the steal there. Probably not going to live this one, unfortunately. And he tried to go for the steal. Poison Water tried to make something happen, but unfortunately, they just both went down and not able to quite convert anything. And now it's looking really dangerous for Alamo here.
Alamo really needs a miracle right now. They need to find some type of wombo combo engage with this Shen, Zach, Vladimir. Otherwise, Vengeance will probably look to try to close it right here. They have the champions too. They have the items, and everything. The gold is exactly where they wanted. All their carries are extremely strong right now. And what's even worse is that Vengeance can look even later into the game if they needed to.
Yeah,
So,
Altricate actually just hit level 14, which means he should be able to give a mythic to somebody else. Just might be going to the Jinx, and that will just make it even more hard for Alamo to tank Venon's Jinx. We'll see who Altricate decides to give his mythic to.
looks like Vengeance is trying to go for a heavy investment into this bot lane, and as I say that, the engage starts.
Moondragon going in, but they can't kill Altricad. Venon's just free hitting from the back. Altricad presses R, is able to get the recast off. Altricad not going low, but not even getting close to dying. Eldrick going in, uses the unstoppable force and or unleash power, and it's just over for the side of Alamo. Venon does way too much damage, and the entirety of Alamo is just dead in like 3 autos. Venon finally gets his game where he gets some kills, gets fed, and then is able to just run over the enemy team. All it took was him to stop playing Kai'Sa, so maybe that says something about your champion, Justin.
And that seems to be probably that will be the series. Scarlet Vengeance wins 2-1 against Alamo.
Alamo just wasn't able to play the game. Moondragon was trying to get something done in the early game. Should have been trying to get something done in the early game. But unfortunately, just because of the amount of pressure level 1, not able to clear his first kip, and he just starts the game so much later than he should have been able to. And Venon didn't receive any of the pressure that he should have.
And yeah, just a solid series from Vengeance. Although they had that big mishap in game 2, they were able to show that they could still draft different types of comps. They were able to draft that engage comp game 1, and although the game 2 comp of trying to play a little bit of a kite comp was not as successful, they were able to just revert back to some basic scaling, play decent fundamental League of Legends, even with Keldrick playing a really good weak side and soaking a lot of ganks from both their jungle and their support. And it was just really impressive stuff from both of them. And as I say that, we will probably have an interview with some of the members on Vengeance very shortly. All right.
Oh.
Hello, Peter. Hello,
And
Alvin.
Alvin.
Hello.
Hello.
We have Dumb
Hey, guys.
Jungler and Venan from Scarlet Vengeance. How was the game? How did you feel?
Game? Yeah, you're right, game, because game 3 was the only game I got to play, man.
Yeah, it looked like you were really having fun games 1 and 2. I was saying previously, it only took you getting off Kaisa, so maybe that says something about Justin's game.
For a record, Kaisa game 2 was not okay. It's whatever. Game 2 was just a little for fun. Peter, any thoughts on game 2 picking Kaisa there for me?
Okay, well, the thing was, the ADC's second highest picked and win rate champion was Kaisa, but apparently Kaisa just sucks in this patch, so, yeah. I don't think we'll be drafting Kaisa ever again, GG.
Oh, man.
Great insight coming in from Peter.
You guys heard it here first. Never pick Kaisa in the tournament, ever.
And
Otherwise,
besides-
you end up like Alvin here.
besides for
Oh,
that,
Justin, you like the skin that I used for Kaisa?
Why are you guys in this call? How are you guys in this call?
We're doing
and now we're
I
having
Keldrick. And we
Keldrick,
get
the
Keldrick!
mid laner. Wow.
Oh yeah, Keldrick,
Look at
what
that
did you think
ghost.
of their mid laner?
He was pretty fucking. Oh shit.
Oh.
Okay.
No!
He was very,
No!
Fine,
very
fine,
good.
fine.
Mechanical player. His cannon was very good getting a harassment, and his Mordekaiser had great wave management.
Thank
and,
you.
yeah, the props to them on a good series. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
and congrats to you guys for winning
Didn't
your
know
series.
this was an interview.
Yes, and
game. Whoopsie.
Speaking of which, just to
And,
ask another
Justin,
question.
work on your overlay, brother.
I know, I'm trying. This is
I didn't
we
retire
are
from
working.
casting for this to happen.
I'm sorry. Welcome to
Yeah,
Suniz
peace.
production. Suniz production is pretty bad. However, we'll be working on it. Sorry for anyone who was dealing with some of my technical issues this series. Anyways,
There were technical issues.
another question. We'll finish this up. Game 2 was pretty rough. How did your team recover and bounce back so strongly in Game 3?
What game 2?
Good answer! Congratulations
No,
on
wait,
winning your
what game
series,
2?
guys.
All 5 of our screens just went black the entire like 20 minutes or 30
Oh.
minutes. I mean,
Well, you have it here. This is how you recover from a devastating game 2, guys. You pretend it didn't happen.
All right.
Actually, it didn't happen. Sorry, guys.
You just picked Jinx. That's how you recover from a bad game.
yeah, I was cured of the stage 6 that was game 2 after playing game 3.
All right. Well then, thank you
Congratulations
for.
on winning your game. Moving on to, I believe it's semifinals.
It is winners semifinals. Yes.
Yes. So congratulations on moving on to winners semifinals, and hopefully we'll see you perform well in your next match as well.
Oh,
Oh, thank
one
you
last
for making
question.
the series.
Before you guys go, one last question. Anything you want to say to
Okay.
your opponents next week, or to anyone in this tournament?
Who are our opponents?
Your
Our
opponents
opponents-
are a live Woshan reaction.
Or what you
Um,
guys will know as
oh, I
Killian's
see.
team.
Oh.
So what I want to see next week is what happened in
Okay.
this league called Metashift, where my previous teammate Sammy got solo killed as Fiora by Warren. I would like to see that happen again.
There's no way, man. Brought this up. Holy shit.
All right. Well then.
Nah.
Thank you guys for your
Oh,
comments.
my message to them is just use all 5 bends on Peter. It's GG's.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, thank you for your comments, guys.
All right. Well then, that should be it for today. For anyone who had to deal with the technical issues on my end, I'm sorry. It will be fixed next time, hopefully.
It won't get fixed
Yes.
next time, guys.
It will, I swear. All right. Thank you guys for coming out and watching a series, one of the series
It
of
was
all
a
time.
series.
And it was
And
actually
see
a
you guys
BL3.
next time.
Bye.